All right, diving right in again. Today, we're going to be looking at something pretty cool, a podcast script, actually.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but it's not just any script. This
Yeah.
one's all about, like, helping people prep for the IELTS speaking exam.
Ah, the IELTS. Makes
Uh,
sense. A lot of folks working on that.
exactly, and the focus is on travel-related questions, you know? But here's the thing. Even if you're not taking the IELTS, this deep dive's still super relevant,
I can see that.
because we're basically going to break down how to talk about travel, like really effectively, how to make it engaging, descriptive, just, interesting to listen to.
Right, right. So people are hooked on your travel tales, maybe even inspired to travel themselves.
Totally. Okay, so the script kicks off with a pretty basic question. Do you like traveling?
Straightforward, yeah.
Seems simple, right? But then it suggests using phrases like experiencing new cultures or escaping the daily grind to, like, give your answer more depth.
I see, I see. So it's not just a yes or no. You're showing you understand what's behind traveling, why people do it.
Yeah, exactly. You're not just saying, I enjoy this, you're explaining why. And another thing the script emphasizes is using personal stories.
Oh, I like that.
So instead of just saying, I love historical places, you could talk about, that time you went to Rome and how walking through the Colosseum made you feel.
Right. Gives it that personal touch. You're not just spitting out generic stuff. It's real. It's you.
And the listener feels that, like they're right there with you. Okay, so moving on, the script's got this question. What type of places do you like to visit?
Hmm.
What makes a place truly interesting, I'm curious what you think.
Hmm. For me, it's often that mix of old and new. Places like Kyoto, Japan, which the script actually mentions. You've got these amazing old temples, serene gardens right alongside modern buzzing life. That contrast is just captivating.
Yeah, like you're touching history, but still in today's world.
And the script does a great job describing Kyoto. It talks about the Golden Pavilion, traditional tea ceremonies,
Hmm?
and even that feeling of, like, peacefulness you get from the gardens. Ah, that's the magic of descriptive language. It's like you're painting a picture with words, making the listener feel like they're experiencing it with you. And that's useful way beyond the IELTS. That's just good storytelling.
Absolutely. So, whether you're chatting with friends about your trips or trying to nail that exam, using descriptive language is key. Now, another question that pops up a lot in travel conversations is, do you prefer traveling alone or with others? You've probably done both, right? What are your thoughts on that?
Both are fantastic, but in different ways. Traveling with friends and family, it creates these shared memories, that camaraderie. You're experiencing things together. You got those inside jokes, stories to look back on.
Like that time you all got totally lost in Paris and stumbled on the best little restaurant.
Exactly. It's those unexpected moments that stick with you. But then, traveling solo, it's a different kind of freedom. You connect with yourself, explore at your own pace. You might even step outside your comfort zone in a way you wouldn't with a group.
Yeah. Embracing the unknown, discovering things about yourself along the way. Both styles have their appeal, for sure. And the script highlights this, showing how you can present a balanced argument, acknowledging the good and bad of each.
Exactly. It's showing you've thought about it from different angles and can express yourself clearly, thoughtfully. And that's a skill that goes way beyond travel, really. It applies to any time you got to present a well-rounded argument.
It's so interesting how even a simple question about solo versus group travel can lead to such a deep conversation. Now, this next question in the script really got me thinking. Do you think traveling is important? It's not just about what you like, it's about, like, the bigger picture of travel.
Yeah, it makes you think about how travel can actually change people. You
Yeah.
know, the script talks about how it exposes us to different cultures, traditions, ways of life. It can really broaden your perspective.
It's like you step outside your own little world and realize, wow, there are so many ways to live and be, which I think is so important these days when the world feels so connected.
Absolutely. In a world that often feels divided, travel can be a way to connect with people from all walks of life. You start to see the humanity in everyone, even if their customs or beliefs are different from your own.
It's about embracing those differences and appreciating what they add to the world. And the script also mentions how travel builds valuable life skills like adaptability, problem solving.
Think about it. When you travel, you're constantly facing new situations, navigating unfamiliar places. You have to think on your feet, adapt to change, Be resourceful.
Yeah, it's like a crash course in resourcefulness and resilience. And those skills are useful everywhere, not just when you're traveling, whether you're at work or dealing with personal stuff.
Exactly. It pushes you out of your comfort zone, builds confidence, and that stays with you wherever you go.
And of course, we can't forget the mental health benefits of travel. It's such a good way to de-stress, recharge, see things with fresh eyes. The script mentions how it can be a break from your routine.
Totally. A break from the everyday. Whether it's exploring a city, hiking in nature, or just chilling on a beach, travel helps you reconnect with yourself. You come home feeling refreshed.
It's like hitting the reset button. Okay, so the last question in this part of the script is, how has traveling changed compared to the past? Especially with how much technology affects the way we travel these days. What are your thoughts on that?
It's amazing how much things have changed. In the past, travel was often slower, less convenient, and maybe even a little more challenging. Think about long train or ship journeys. No GPS, limited communication.
Wow, that does sound like a totally different experience. I imagine it required a lot more patience and planning, and maybe even a bit more spontaneity.
Absolutely. You had to be flexible. You couldn't always rely on having all the information at your fingertips. You had to be ready for anything.
So the journey itself was more of an adventure with its own surprises.
Exactly. But now, technology has brought about some incredible advancements. We book flights and hotels online, navigate with GPS, and stay connected no matter where we are.
So convenient. It's opened up travel to so many people who might not have had the opportunity before.
For sure. But, like with anything, there are downsides too. The script talks about over-tourism, where popular places get overcrowded, putting a strain on resources and the environment.
It's a tough issue. It shows how important it is to travel responsibly and sustainably.
Right, we need to be mindful of our impact, support local communities and businesses in a way that's both beneficial and respectful.
It's finding that balance between enjoying modern travel and preserving the specialness of the places we visit.
Absolutely. And social media has definitely changed things too. Lots of people are looking for those Instagram-worthy spots.
It's like we're all trying to create the perfect travel feed instead of just enjoying the experience.
It's interesting to think about before we jump into those IELTS-specific tips. What do you think about how travel has changed? Has technology made it better or worse? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, we want to know what you think. And as we get into the IELTS tips, keep in mind that these communication strategies aren't just for exams. They're helpful for anyone. It's amazing how much there is to talk about with travel. But all right, let's get to those IELTS tips from the Swift. They're aimed at the speaking test, but honestly, they're just good communication tips in general.
Totally agree. First one is about expanding your answers. Instead of just giving those short one-word answers, try to give more context, more detail. It shows you can really speak fluently and express yourself well.
So instead of just, I like beaches, you might say something about a specific beach, how the sand felt, or why you love being by the water.
Exactly. Paint that picture with your words. And that kind of leads into the next tip, using a variety of vocabulary. The script mentions words like explore, adventure, landmarks, scenic, even over-tourism.
It's like you've got this whole toolbox of words to choose from, right? And you're picking the best ones to really get your meaning across.
Yeah, it's not about using big words just cause, but finding the right words to make what you're saying clear and interesting. The third tip is about fluency and coherence. It basically says that even if you mess up a little on grammar, it's okay as long as your speech flows naturally and your ideas connect well.
So it's more about the overall flow making sense than being perfect grammatically.
Right, like a river. It might have some bends or rocks, but the
Yeah.
water keeps moving, taking you along.
I like that, a river. Tip number 4 is to use descriptive language and examples. We were talking about this before, right? About painting that picture with words and really engaging the listener.
Yep. Don't just state facts. Make your experiences come alive. Describe the colors, sounds, smells, even the emotions you felt.
And tell those personal stories. They make your answers so much more memorable and relatable. And lastly, the most important tip, the script says, is to practice speaking out loud.
It's so important. The more you practice, the more comfortable and confident you'll become. Find a friend, a family member, or even talk to yourself in the mirror. Just get used to expressing your thoughts out loud.
Get your brain and your mouth working together right. So whether you're prepping for IELTS or just want to tell better stories, these tips are a great place to start. But we don't want to just leave you with tips. We want to give you a little challenge.
Exactly. We've been talking about all kinds of travel experiences, but now we want to hear about yours. Think about your favorite travel destination anywhere in the world. That place that's really special to you.
Here's the challenge. How would you describe it? How would you make someone else want to go there? Think about the sights, the sounds, the smells, the emotions that come to mind.
What makes that place so unique and unforgettable? Use those tips we talked about. Paint that picture with your words. Take
Oh,
us there.
there's no right or wrong answer here. It's all about your personal connection to that place, sharing your love for travel.
Take some time to think about it. Maybe write down some notes. Even practice saying it out loud. You never know. It might even inspire your next trip.
I love that. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. We hope you've enjoyed exploring the world of travel with us and learned something new along the way.
The journey of learning and discovering never really ends, right? So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep sharing your unique perspective with the world.
Happy travels, everyone.